Well, good morning. Welcome to Daily Videos with me, Pastor Michelle. Today is Saturday, August, 7th, 8th. Oh, the days are running together. Let's just start with some prayer, because I think prayer is a good way to just center ourselves. So, stop. I'm watching these dogs and they're annoying. This is a ritual for returning to the office. Dust spiritually, dust physically. Wipe spiritually, wipe physically. Disinfect, repeat. Open windows and vinyl blinds. Open windows in the heart. Give thanks for the work. Throw out what is not useful anymore. Go back to work. Go forward to prayer. And so, my friends, let's go forward to prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debtors as we forgive our own debts. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. So, I do hope everyone had a good week. And I hope you're doing okay and staying safe out there. These are definitely just crazy times, aren't they? As our calendars aren't as full, I feel like we have more time to reflect on life. And I know I've been reflecting a lot. One of the things I've been thinking a lot about is kids and how my life hasn't turned out exactly how I pictured it. And how I'm just coming to terms with the fact that I will probably never have kids. My wife and I have discussed fostering or adoption even, but I don't know if that's even going to happen at this point. And I think I'm just coming to terms with that and coming to see that it's okay if that doesn't happen, and coming to see that I am happy with how life has turned out. And and there's plenty, I don't know. That's just something that was on my mind. I feel very blessed that I have a job that I love. I don't even consider it a job. It's a calling. And I feel blessed because I feel like of all the things it's hard to be certain of, I do have certainty that I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. And I have certainty that I married exactly who I'm supposed to marry. So it's nice in the midst of so much uncertainty that surrounds us. It's nice to have some stuff to cling to. So anyway, enough of that. Let's get back into Hunger Games, shall we? Let's hear what's happening with Katniss and Peeta and Cato and the mutations. It's her, I get out. It's her, I get out. Who? Asked Peeta. My head snaps from side to side as I examine the pack, taking in the various sizes and colors. The small one with the red coat and amber eyes. Foxface. And there the ashen hair and hazel eyes of the boy from District 9 who died as we struggle for the backpack. And worst of all, the smallest mutt with dark glossy fur, huge brown eyes and a collar that reads 11 in woven straw, teeth bared in hatred. Rue. What is it, Katniss? Peeta shakes my shoulder. It's them, it's all of them, the others, Rue and Foxface and all the tributes. I choke out. I hear Peeta's gasp of recognition. What do they do to them? You don't think those could be their real eyes? Their eyes are the least of my worries. What about their brains? Have they been given any of the real tributes, memories? Have they been programmed to hate our faces, particularly because we have survived and they were so callously murdered? And the ones we actually killed, do they believe they're avenging their own deaths? Before I can get this out, the mutts begin a new assault on the horn. They split into two groups at the sides of the horn and are using those powerful hindquarters to launch themselves at us. A pair of teeth ring together just inches from my hand, and then I hear Peeta cry out, feel the yank on his body, the heavy weight of boy and mutt pulling me over the side. If not for the grip of my arm, he'd be on the ground. But as it is, it takes all my strength to keep us both on the curved back of the horn. And more tributes are coming. Kill it, Peeta, kill it! I'm shouting, and although I can't quite see what's happening, I know he must have stabbed the thing because the pool lessens. I'm able to haul him back onto the horn where we drag ourselves toward the top where the lesser of two evils awaits. Cato has still not regained his feet, but his breathing is slowing, and I know soon he'll be recovered enough to come for us, to hurl us over the side to our deaths. I arm my bow, but the arrow ends up taking out a mutt that can only be thresh. Who else could jump so high? I feel a moment's relief because we must finally be up above the mutt line, and I'm just turning back to face Cato when Peta's jerked from my side. I'm sure the pack has got him until his blood splatters on my face. Cato stands before me almost at the lip of the horn, holding Peta in some kind of headlock, cutting off his air. Peta's clawing at Cato's arm, but weakly, as if confused over whether it's more important to breathe or try or stem the gush of blood from the gaping hole Mutt left in his calf. I aim one of my last 2 arrows at Cato's head, knowing it'll have no effect on his trunk or limbs, which I can now see are clothed in a skin-tight, flesh-colored mesh, some high-grade body armor from the capital. Was that what was in his pack at the feast? Body armor to defend against my arrows? Well, they neglected to send a face guard. All right, so are they going to get Cato? Are they going to escape from the mutations? We'll find out later. All right, so, sorry, just had a weird, my eye burned for a minute. So let's get back to John Pavlovitz. So, stuff that needs to be said. So, his saying, his blog today is called The Privilege of Positivity. Yesterday, a friend on social media challenged me to only post positive messages for one whole day. It felt like part social media campaign, part enthusiastic dare, and part gentle personal scolding. I hear a similar sentiment by many people in a myriad of ways, expressing the same concern to people around them. You're producing too much negativity here. Most people mean well, and believe me, I do understand the sentiment, but honestly, I don't know what positive means to some people anymore. It seems like something is being lost in translation. Too many people, positive means to only speak happy words, to only focus on pleasant things, to never be combative or angry or grieving, to say nothing critical or confrontational to or about anyone. It means pictures of babies and puppies and happy people on vacation, not of families in cages or deplorable attention centers or dying wildlife. It means videos of cats in funny clothes, not of young, unarmed black men being beaten by police during routine traffic stops. It means beaming smile selfies and feel-good platitudes and perfectly framed food porn. The request to be positive seems to mean please avoid giving someone any information or providing that information in a way that derails the path and plans an emotional state of their day. If it causes another person to become angry or to grieve, or if it rubs up against a set of assumptions they have, then it's negative. We all have a natural empathy saturation point, a threshold we reach where the bad news is too much to absorb. I think we're there now. With so much to be burdened by these days, the desire to escape some of it is natural and understandable, but it's also a sure sign of our privilege that we think we can. The very idea that we can have the option of escaping terrible news or sidestepping difficult conversations or limiting disturbing information is itself confirmation that we are buffered from a good deal of struggle, that we can tire of a story or an issue likely means we have no real personal stake in it. Many people don't have the option of avoiding negativity today. They don't have the privilege of not coming off as combative. They don't have the luxury of not fighting. They can't decide not to live with urgency on this day because there's no other way to live in order to survive it. There aren't a lot of migrants or Muslims or people without health care or survivors of sexual assault or parents of transgender teens saying, "Can you give me more puppy videos and less truthful news about how broken our nation is?" To me, activism is pure positivity. It is passionately affirming humanity by taking note of the places it is most endangered and assailed. It's being for someone enough to advocate for them when they are vulnerable and marginalized and invisible. Being positive means being fully engaged in real life. I'm all for looking for the good in people, for leaning into the hope, for staying optimistic about the future, for boosting encouragement, for cultivating joy, for taking time to enjoy meaningful moments with people you love, even sharing puppy photos. But that has nothing to do with editing what I share so that it feels more pleasant or palatable to people who are shielded from danger enough to be annoyed by its news. Yes, please give me funny videos and heartwarming images and stuff to make them laugh and breathe and rest. The world needs these things. But as often as we share beautifully crafted Instagram images, we need to make sure we're showing people reality completely unfiltered as well. The world needs this too. If being positive means not calling out abject racism, if it means not advocating for migrant families in cages, if it means silently ignoring human rights atrocities, if it means allowing my LGBTQ friends to have their rights eroded, if it means making peace with bigotry in the highest levels of our government, if it means abiding but Muslims being vilified, if it means allowing legislative violence to go unopposed, if it means standing by fellow white Christians who pervert the message of Jesus, if it means avoiding unpleasant conversations about the things that burden my heart because they make other people uncomfortable, then I guess I won't be positive today. Actually, I'm positive about that. And so, and I think he has a good point, because the world is filled with so much bad stuff. I think about the bomb that went off in, oh man, I'm tired. But earlier this week, Beirut, in another country, and how, oh my gosh, you're getting on my nerves, dog. All right, and and there is just so much bad stuff, and he has a point, because I think what we're meant to do. This is what we're meant to do. And I'm going to wax poetically here as best as I can. I think we're meant to, I think we're meant to pay attention to all of it, all that life throws our way. We're meant to pay attention to the bad, to the absolutely heartbreaking stuff that happens. But we're also meant to pay attention to the good and to find hope. I think of like when you think of the imagery of a flower growing up in concrete. When you see sometimes a slat, you see a crack in a sidewalk or concrete, and you see a flower coming up out of it. Or I think of an episode of The Office when Michael and Dwight go to a dumpster, go to a landfill, and they find like beauty there. They find stuff. They're looking for beauty in the midst of a landfill, and they're able to find something. But I mean, it's just, there is beauty all around us, but we have to acknowledge the crap too. We're surrounded by crap and we're surrounded by beauty all at the same time. And life is about managing both. Life is about embracing both of that. Did that make any sense? Yeah. Life is a mixture of good and bad. And yeah. Okay, that was me waxing poetically for today. So God bless you all. God bless me. God bless. All right, bye.